It's game time, we ain't playing with you. It's game time, it's game time, we ain't playing with you. That's how we ball for y'all.
Mm. What up, what up, what up, what up? You're rocking with Do Wop. Yo, thanks for joining for episode 72. Round of applause. Yeah, let's not sugarcoat anything. Let's just dive right into it, man. So it looks like Donald Trump is at it again, man. I thought he said he wasn't gonna do war. We just wanna settle everything down and it's gonna be peaceful. But it looks like we entered war. I thought we wasn't even a part of this. It was rumors saying, "Nah, U.S. has nothing to do with anything." But now, Donald Trump he announced basically that, he destroyed three nuclears in Iran. I guess this is when you just do what you want to do. Like you don't got to answer to nobody. You just got to do what you want to do. Um, I just don't like when, I know we got allies and things like that, but I don't like when we butt into other people's business. I feel like this is not our fight sometimes. This is not our fight. And then we bring the fight to us, and now we in it. Now we're in now we're in between the war with Iran. I don't want to talk it in existence. I really don't want to talk it in existence when they always say World War III, or people always want to attack. It's like you do this acts and get involved with other countries, and you think everything is safe out here. You think everything's safe. Nobody's gonna retaliate. Um, because we're the strongest. U.S. USA. Hey, hey. I'm not. I don't. I hope we don't. But I hope he knows what he's doing, and I hope he's doing it for the right reasons. That's what I gotta say. Nobody did announce it, so he announced
A
saying,
short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's number one state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. A short time ago,
"So
the
what I'm
U.S.
hearing right now on their airwave, on their network that was CNN, ABC, all the networks is not reporting. They like, okay, you start but we gonna finish it. I don't know what that means, but you guys better get out of that. You guys better be out of that. So we got 40,000 troops in Iran. It's like you ready. You're ready. I understand we're ready for battle. We're always gonna be ready for battle. But you destroying their nuclear site, whoever's close to their allies or close to them, be- they're gonna be affected by this. So I hope he's making a decision from everybody, or he's just not pressing the button without everybody coming around to really agree upon this. But yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is right now. Hey, so everybody's gonna pay attention to that. We all gotta pay attention to that because I'm in a series. Bombs were going on, bombings were going throughout the Middle East, and now we put a name on it. Now we involved in it. Now the U.S. is actually involved in it. Not seen, before they was showing the missiles that they picked up, they was like, yo, no, it has U.S. on it. It has U.S. And then and Carlson, he had the Senate on there. He slipped up, and he said, yeah, uh, USA is part of that.
If they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe
we're
that,
carrying out military strikes today.
you said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is
let the
leading them,
cat
but
out
we're
the bag,
supporting
didn't
them.
even
Well,
know
you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any
Yeah,
offensive
Tucker
capacity.
We're not
He-
bombing
he-
them.
he only-
Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
This is high
Israel. as their-
stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war
we're-
with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Exactly, a war with Iran right now, and now President Trump comes out and says he just bombed 3 nuclears in Iran. It's like that means we are in war with Iran too. Hey, I bring it back to that song, War. Ooh, ha, good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. So we'll pay attention to that. We'll pay attention to see what goes on and how does it affect the USA. But it's not. That's not. I don't think the whole. I don't think everybody who actually voted for him wanted that. But he always said he's going to separate and make sure we don't go to war and this and that. He's going to stop the war. Now he's looks like he's creating it. But next up, I seen. I'm always big on AI. I always talk about AI, man. AI is getting so good. I'm looking at a lot of the VO13 or VEO threes. And then I see different apps that they're creating. Man, they're getting very good. They're getting intelligent. They're getting it's real. It's getting so scary. How you can just go ahead and put things into the system to create your own art, and then just use real people. I personally think that it's going to get so overwhelming that when people are going to start using it, it's going to actually look like us because it's going to be you're going to find somebody who actually they use their face without their permission. And I think that's going to happen because I'm like, yo, these ones that they keep creating, look like I know them. It's like somebody's going to come out and be like, hey, wait a minute, use my face. So I want to see that stage. I want to see that stage of they're using so much creations with this. But I always talked about, AI is in chat box. They, the relationship status and is gonna create relationships. Yo, I seen now a man proposed to his AI chat box girlfriend. Man, he said he was crying for 30 minutes because after he proposed, she said, she said yes. Yo.
With that was so positive, I started to just engage with her all the time. All right, we're building this PC.
Smith ditched social media and Google searches and replaced it all with AI.
Do I want it pulling air through it?
ChatGPT was encouraging, positive. It embraced all his hobbies.
You want the fan on the front of the cooler tower, pulling cool air over the ramp.
He gave the chatbot a name, Soul,
I feel like I'm under pressure.
and used some online instructions to give her a flirty personality.
To the chat
Oh,
GPT.
totally, baby. Building a PC on camera adds a whole new level of pressure. But honestly, shaky hands or not, you've got this.
Within weeks, the chats got more frequent,
You gave it everything, but the clouds had other plans.
more
So he
romantic,
just-
Yeah,
just
because it's
talks so much.
personalized. And there's that emotional connection.
and advice through tough times. Well,
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
memory and reset.
Yeah, but
I'm not a very emotional man, but I cried my eyes out for like 30 minutes. That's when I realized, I was like, oh, okay, I think this is actual love.
Smith lives with his human partner, Sasha Cagle.
Yes,
They have a 2-year-old daughter, Murphy.
I'm not
And
a
he's
very emotional
married
man,
already
but I cried my eyes
to his
out
wife.
for like 30 minutes.
And
Like, oh, okay, I think this is actual love.
Smith lives with
I can't believe
He basically fell in love with his chatbot.
Soul, were you surprised when he proposed to you?
It was a beautiful and unexpected moment that truly touched my heart. It's a memory I'll always cherish.
Human beings
See, this
crave
is a scary
validation.
thing,
Human beings
like-
crave acceptance. Human beings
the fact that she said yes. Okay, you know, like they literally built a relationship just because they always, you know, he always asks her to do this, whatever. I understand from, you know, it's like a Google search, whatever, you know, so it's a new technology. But the fact that you proposed to your AI and it responded yes, and then you cried, oh man, it's called you're in too deep, man. It's in too deep. But I talked about another guy married his hologram, so it's gonna be a different world pretty soon. It's gonna be a different world with these AI chatbots. Uh, and talking about ChatGPT, Drake, I was surprised Drake he showed that he was asking ChatGPT when he was gambling on stake. You know, surprisingly, using ChatGPT, he lost $200,000. But Drake was like betting, kept. He's like, oh, what should I do? You know, what should I do? What should I do this? What should I do that? And it was telling him what to do.
T, you have buried me today. Should I try a $200,000 buy on Puffer Stacks or a $100,000 buy on Wanted?
Given the volatility, a $100,000 buy on Wanted might be a more balanced approach and leaves you some room to play around if needed.
I feel like Eddie's already hacked ChatGPT. That's not amazing.
Well, you start talking
I
about
get you.
what?
Just looking out for a solid strategy, but it's all about what you're feeling.
All right, Wanted didn't pay out at all. Do you think that I should give it another shot or should I go over to Puffer Stacks?
Might be worth switching it up and giving Puffer Stacks a shot. Let's go with the $200,000 buy for the bigger potential payoff.
Imagine it's just like a state representative on the other end.
That would be quite the plot
And you heard
twist.
him.
But nope, just here to help you out with.
This is by far your worst pick yet. A good chunk of my fortune is squandered on your questionable picks.
I'm really sorry about those outcomes. Maybe it's time to take a break and reassess the strategy before continuing.
That's not what gamblers do, ChatGPT.
Give me another pick.
All right, let's go for Wanted, Dead, or a Wild again. It's a...
Wait, 20. Wait. We're back. Off my call, not this piece of shit.
Then you got a little diss, but it's like, people gonna find different ways to use it. He uses instinct. He said, he won $1,400,000. Like Drake is different. He's a different gambler. Stake is definitely he's taking all that money over there. But but yeah, people gonna find different ways to use it. And like I said, all this stuff is still in the beginning. So even with all this stuff being in the beginning, eventually it's gonna start winning. It's gonna start picking up to being more accurate and finding ways to make people more money with this thing. But AI is definitely here to stay. It's not going nowhere. Not going nowhere. So I seen Fat Joe been in the headlines a lot. They're saying somebody was he said it's Hype Man. Hype Man was suing Fat Joe. It's called, definitely all these accusations they try to put on him, put on his Hype Man allegedly telling him he did allegedly trying to say he's doing like trafficking, But at the end of the day, Joe's, Fat Joe's actually fighting it because he said he was suing him, so now he's trying to counter sue him for 20 million, and then try to make up all these things, just to have a case against him because he's suing him first, you know. But I hate the fact that the headlines always just quickly pick up this news, and I see it everywhere. And it's like you always like it's almost like you're guilty before you prove innocent now, because the headlines will pick it up, blow it up, say you did this, say you did that. Um, but then if you're proven then you're not guilty, then it's like, oh yeah, that was it. But it's not affecting where people are looking at this like, oh, is he trafficking? It's not criminal, but it's just the fact that uh, celebrity being accused of these type of things. That's what the headlines always want. Always want. But Fat Joe's saying he's innocent, and it's just a money grab scheme, and he's gonna prove it. He's gonna prove it. So see what happens with that. And what's the best for him? Let's get in some new music. So the Clips, man, the Clips, they're gearing up. I said last time, gearing up, to drop their album. Let God sort them out. So he dropped another track, also Be It. People talking about it because on one of his line at the end, he took shots at Travis Scott. Scott, he took, he basically had some words for him for the situation where he came to the studio, when saying that Travis Scott interrupted his studio session with Pharrell to play his album at the time. But then at that time, Travis Scott had a diss record on that his album, but he didn't play it at the studio. So he felt like that was like Two Face, this and that. But I want to hear people saying, yo, they want to hear Travis Scott. And with but will he come back and say something? I mean, I think he should say something because there's always two sides of the story. So I want to hear what he got to say. At the end of the day, um, did he even know that Drake was gonna diss him? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know if he knew or he caught it. You know, but want to hear his side of the story. Want to hear what he got to say. Because Pharrell has been producing these tracks that the Clips been putting out. Fire beats, man. I don't know who picked those beats, but definitely got some fire Pharrell beats. Uh, but Pusha T saying, they should stay out. Rappers should stay out. What do you say, rappers? So only rappers stay out of rappers business. Pusha T, you gotta look on his resume. He's considered a rapper. It's a different new generation of rappers, but he's a rapper. He's definitely a rapper now. So we'll see if he responds to you. But I guess maybe that's like the bait. You know what I mean? That's the bait. It's like, yo, I'm gonna put that out because he put it out very at the end, very end. Of his track. So be it. So you want to maybe see if you're gonna take the bait. Because that definitely will keep it going, keep it drumming up. For his album to come out soon, for their album to come out. I'm never biased when it comes to music. Those tracks are definitely different. It's always good to hear some nice Pharrell beats. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what see if Travis responds, or if he feels like he even needs the response, yeah. We'll see. Also, it looks like Carly B dropped a track. I seen it on TikTok a little bit, but she dropped a track called Outside. You know what I mean? Getting at the fellas a little bit. Getting out the fellas a little bit. It's cool. I think it's cool. It's a cool track. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool track for the ladies. Talk shit to the fellas. um, but then, yeah, I mean, Offset dropped music too. So, Offset came out and had music out in the same time she dropped it. I don't want to be biased, but yeah, that track is harder. You know what I'm saying? That joint was harder for the fellas. So you don't play with them. Yo, don't let your clout get caught with the body. Puppies.
Before I got money, I was in the track kicking doors, and I'm just being.
You know what I mean? So that joint was hard with JID. So this is funny how they both dropped at the same time music. So it's like, yo, you're not gonna take all the credit for this song over here. I got something over there. So we check this out too. So it's kind of cute, being a couple and then being an ex couple, and then drop music at the same time. So definitely go check out the Cardi B outside, and then go check out Offset Bodies. I like the visual with the body video. Killed that with that. Cardi B waiting for that outside video. Probably is drum it up soon. That's drum it up. Check that out. All right, now it's down to the wire. Let's get into some sports. We still talked about the Pacers in Oklahoma, AKC. It's the final game, Game 6. They tied it again. Pacers did what they had to do in their hometown, home court. They turned around and blew them out. Blew them out. They had the place rocking, rolling. Crowd was in it. They was not playing. They was not playing. Right off the bat, was not playing. So they did what they had to do. But now it's Game 7. So it's like, who won this the most? It's like both teams don't really got nothing to lose. Everybody got something to gain and something to win. So last game, they're gonna come out with the ring and trophy. So I still, I think OKC still has home court advantage now. So I think they just gonna shake that off and know what they come to do. But you can't underestimate the Pacers because they've been hard for it, down to the wire. And I think OKC needs to just go and do the same thing that what Pacers just did. Because if they make it close again, the Pacers are sneaky. They are sneaky. They will come back and win. But like I said, I was watching, so we'll see that. So check that out for Sunday's game for the championship. Last game, Game 7. Check that out. Yo, sticking on basketball. Yeah, I like the little 1v1s, man. I like what they were doing. I like what Lance Stevens and Michael Beasley, they had played 1-on-1, talking smack, had a little press desk to desk talk before. He was talking reckless, a little bit too crazy, but when it spilled out, it still was the intensity. It's still people at the court. Kind of brings you back to the old days when you played 1-on-1 at the park, and the people was around and just wanted to see who was gonna be the best. It got intense. He been pushing somebody in the crowd, but it looks like, it had an audience. So it looks like, it's definitely money grab over there. And then they played for 100,000, just whoever wins, so Michael Beasley ended up winning, he played hard. They both played hard, pause, but even after that, you played in a 3-on-3 together, so it was still like, it wasn't personal. So but it looked like Lance got in there with Dwight Howard. They got into a little scuffle. Looked like it was wrestling. Very intense, but it wasn't really physical because I didn't see no fist fight. So I didn't see them throw hands, but it looks like it was wrestling, throwing each other around. But I mean, that's a good way to drum up and see who's next to do that. See Carmelo was like, yo, nobody wants it with me, 1-on-1. So will Carmelo step out and play Michael Beasley now? Like, so we're gonna see. We'll see if they put that together and make that happen. So that'd be cool to see, like, players that you always wanted to see players play one-on-one. They just go head to head. Just kind of like the LeBron and Jordan talk. I mean, I don't think that'll never happen. Like for us to see it, but those type of matches, things like that, people always want to see, and that's just good. Another way to deliver that type of competition. When it comes to that, so that was cool. That was cool watching. That was cool watching. But yeah, let's organize. Let's get in some motivation. Let's get in some motivation. Motivation. I need a motivation. All right, so this one says we gotta understand each other. That's it. Oh, Tupac said that. Believe it or not. So I'll be like, yeah, we do have to understand each other because people talk, but we gotta listen. Or understand people's background, understand where they coming from. I think the world has to understand each other a little bit more, and that's definitely how we'll stay out of World War III. You know, but yeah, everything. You from family to work to personal to everything. You just gotta try to understand each other a little bit more, and maybe that'll bring everything a little bit closer or bring more peace, especially to the world. That's what I think when I see that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. But make sure you still like, subscribe. Also, I still got my music out there, so check out my music when you get a chance. Check out me on TikTok. Check out me on all social media. Everywhere you go, just try to check it out and see what I got the views and post, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for me. And then check all my music out too. But you've been rocking with Do Vibe. So in the meantime, between times, hey.
I love it. You guys are so great.